Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk on a three-man militia. I want to make sure before I commit, whenever there's a crisis going on, and before I commit, or I'm going to commit the militia that I'm involved in, I want to make sure that we've done our homework and we are prepared to help others. Now, I want to go through all the steps that I'll be checking out so I know what we're getting into. First, I need to talk to the information officer. I want to know, there's all kinds of questions I need to ask before I know we're ready to get involved in it. And I want to make sure our safety concerns and my safety concerns are taken care of. Now, seeing this is an emergency and everything's happening really fast, all of my safety concerns won't be met. But I want to at least be comfortable in knowing what it is I'm getting into. Okay, now the first thing, I want to know who's in charge. Who's the one that's really making all the decisions? Who's the one that's setting the goals and making sure that things are getting done? This is called leadership. This will help see how organized we're going to be and, like I say, what we're getting into. Now, if they tell me it's the police chief, the mayor, the sheriff, or maybe just one of the community leaders, the local community leaders. If it's one of these people, not a bunch of them, I mean one of these people. If it's one of them, then I know this is in local hands. Okay, now if it's going to be anything other than that, I will be prepared to walk. I will not get involved if the state or federal or anybody is going to come into our local area and make these decisions. And the reason is, these are important decisions. And we want somebody local that's going to be thinking this out. And because the local one is here now, the local one will be here when this crisis gets over. So I want to make sure they're the ones, because that is the person I'm going to be going to if things don't work out afterwards. I want to make sure I know who is in charge. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to need to know what, I don't really need to know who this person is. I mean, I don't need to talk to that particular person, because this person's got a lot going. They got a lot of stuff going on, because they're getting all of this set up. So they're not going to have time to talk to me. But what I do need to know I want to know what exactly is the emergency, because I want to know what I'm getting into. I want to know what the short-term and the long-term goals are going to be. Because like I say, if it's just a cleanup, a mess cleanup, like a chemical spill or, something like that small, we'll be able to get taken care of pretty quick. I want to know, or if it's going to be something long-term. Like I say, the town I was in was flooded here just a few years ago. I mean, big time flooded. The refinery got flooded. Everything got flooded. It completely changed the whole scope of the future of the town. And so that's what I'm saying. So you have to, I want to know that the short and long term is being considered in whatever is going on. And I need to know if I'm just getting into a disaster type cleanup, or is it going to be a violent type crisis? I mean, such as some of the bad, hairy stuff that we hear about and stuff like that. I mean, if it's going to be violent, I want to know it's going to be a violent situation. I want to know what I'm getting into. Next, I need to know who we will be dealing with directly. I mean, who is the one that's going to be telling us what we need to be doing? I want to know exactly who this person is going to be. Is it going to be the second in command, the third in command? Maybe it's a person that's in charge of a particular duties. It'll be such as logistics, or I mentioned the chemicals. Okay, is it this person's in charge of the chemicals, housing, if it's going to be long term, so we'll be working under somebody, and that's the person I need to know, and I need to know exactly who it is that I'm going to be working under. Okay, and if it could be at this point, it could be somebody that represents the state, the federal, or some outside type whatever. And so I need to know who it is that I'm going to be working under. And that'll be okay if there's somebody from outside, because like I say, this it could be a very massive undertaking. So no telling what's going to be involved in this thing. So, but I need to know who it is that we're going to be working directly under, because they're the ones going to be telling us what we need to do. I need to know exactly what is going to be expected from us, because like I say, I don't know what kind of, my militia is going to be specialized in something. Now maybe our expertise will be what they need. Remember, I talked about the chemical spill. Okay, now if my militia is into chemicals, well, that means we would be the ones that would be directly involved in this thing, until somebody comes along that's better qualified and better equipped than we are for the situation. So I need to know exactly what it is that we're going to be getting into, and then we're going to be doing something. It may be something that's not our expertise, and that's okay, because we're going to, this is an emergency. We're going to be doing what we are capable of doing until the qualified personnel get there. Either another militia that does specialize in that, or somebody that, whatever it is, that they really know what's going on. Well, then we're just holding the fort until these better qualified people get there. Now, some of the things that whatever we do, there's going to be some limitations on what we're going to be doing. One is we will not be doing anything that's immoral. Nothing. And then we will defend ourselves no matter what. I mean, I don't care, if we're doing a flood in Florida and we have alligators running around, I'm gonna shoot some alligators. I don't care if it's legal or illegal, because at this particular time our safety is more important than anything. So and I want to, when we're only going to be taking orders from whoever is in charge of us. Remember, the ones that got us in this spot right here, what we're doing, told us what we're doing, all that. They're the only ones we're taking orders from. So we've got our orders. They're not going to be changed by anybody else. Now there might be some changes, but it's all going to be within reason. It's all going to be within reason. And we are under no obligation to stay. I'm talking about our militia. Now, we came together, and we're going to go together, but we have no obligation to stay. Because if our safety's in jeopardy, or you're asking us to do stuff that's not right, we just won't do it. And when that's time for us to leave, whoever it is that we're in charge of us, we're going to go directly to them and explain to them why the hell we're leaving. And now there will be some changes as we're going to be going along here. We're going to have to deal with this, but it's going to have to be stuff that sounds acceptable to us, all of us in our little militia, because we're the only ones that are important at this time. Our safety, our families depend on us. So I mean, we're here to help others, but there is limits. Okay, now like I say, we came here, and now it might be us three, or it might be 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many of us that are coming to assist. And like I say, we are a militia, and so we will be armed, and at a minimum, we will always have our knives, a handgun. Always. That will be on our person all the time, because we are responsible for the safety of each other, number one. So, and I say we may even have a rifle or a shotgun. I don't know about all of us. It just depends on the circumstances. But like I say, we're going to bring this stuff with us anyway, so we're going to have it. So, but we will make that decision if we need this type of stuff or not. But like I say, it might be alligator country, so no telling. And then now, like I say, we will come together. Now, I don't know if it's going to be one vehicle or maybe multiple vehicles, but we all come together. All these vehicles will be put in the staging area. We're all going to be together, and we'll leave the keys in the vehicles, just in case we're going to have to get out. We don't want to start looking for who's got the keys kind of stuff. So we will have the keys in the vehicles, and because like I say, we are responsible for each other. Now, there is a limit on this. If we are taking a combat role, now that's another story. Now we're just going to have to work that out. If that's what it ends up being, a combat role, we're going to have to figure out other details. Okay, when our militia is called into duty, when it's time for us to, all of our members, when it's time for us to go into action, we will have the appropriate gear and a backpack to hold this gear. Okay, it's going to be, like I said, knives, handgun, and I would prefer we all have the same caliber in handgun. Well, handgun and rifles too, but I prefer we all have the same caliber anyway in handguns. This way, like I said, we're going to have extra ammunition, so we'll bring extra ammunition, so at least we all have the same ammunition. We can be able to use the same ammunition. And then in the way of rifles, we'd all have, I would rather we all have AK-47s. And I've made videos on how that works. And okay, and let's see, we have to have the appropriate clothing. I'm still working on a uniform, so we need to tell each other. So that's why we're going to have all that. and I say cleaning gear. You have to have the proper cleaning gear for your weapons. You're going to have everybody's got to bring in their backpack food, water purification and water, rain gear, gloves, first aid, just for yourself, enough first aid for yourself. Let's see, bandana, whistle, comfortable boots, fire starting stuff, pencil and paper, cell phone so we can take pictures or make recordings. And like I say, pencil and paper, same thing, so we can write down names and instructions or whatever we need to put down. And some way or another we can mark ourselves so we know, like a bandana. That's why I mentioned a bandana. We all wear the same bandana or around our arm or a uniform some way or another that we can tell who we are. And smoke bombs. And this is the stuff where each one of us need to have that type of stuff. And then as our militia, our group, we're going to have an expertise in some field. We'll have another bag or Foot Locker or something holding all the gear that we're going to need so we can perform what we are good at. Okay, and we're going to need maybe some colored vests, like orange, bright orange vest or something like that. That'll be in there. But depending, I don't know for sure what we're getting into. That's what we're going to need, stuff like that. Wire, kind of like baling wire. We're going to need that because we're going to have to do some maintenance. Duct tape, motion detector. Motion detectors, because sometimes we may have to stow our gear in a certain spot, and we may not be able to watch it all the time, so we can put some motion detectors around it, so then we can make sure our gear stays safe. We're not quite sure what we're getting into, so we need that. And we might need some sleep through the night, and that would help us too, but that'll give us some kind of early warning signal. We're going to need some kind of communications devices, and I like those little family band radios, so we can communicate with ourselves. That's another reason why we would have whistles and stuff like that. We'd have to have some kind of way that we can communicate with each other, and along with some extra batteries. Going to need weather-related gear like blankets, extra clothing, stuff like that for if it gets cold through the night or stuff like that. Space blankets, just for our own first aid need and stuff like that. Freeze-dried food, candy, snacks, and that's stuff for us. And also it'll be stuff that we could trade if need be. And now if you want to review this, I have all this on a link down below. It'll send you to a blog and it'll have all this information down on this. But anyway, you want to be prepared before you get into these kind of situations. And the militia, we need to be prepared because we need to take care of ourselves. All right, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com.